last topic of the night. So a few weeks ago, Major League Baseball announced that what they were going to do is they were going to open up the record books, and they were going to take all the stats from the Negro leagues, and they're going to incorporate them into, so it's all stats for everything. So now you're seeing where Barry Bonds used to be number one, Babe Ruth was number three or whatever. There, so you're seeing pitchers and all these players come in. Um, I don't know if it got the attention it should have, because I feel like you're opening up people that weren't paying attention to anybody except for like the Babe Ruths and the Mickey Mantles and the Joe DiMaggios. You're opening it up to people that maybe didn't have the didn't Google and research and stuff, so and they didn't have it coming to them. Um, Brother James, I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts on combining the stats and making them stats for just baseball overall now? No, it doesn't matter which league.
I think that was a great move. I think it was something that should have been done a long time ago. But better late than never. And it just put facts where they're supposed to be. You know, Babe Ruth was a great hitter, but it was somebody else in the Negro League that was better. And now, when that question comes up, people have to find, they want to find out the real answer, and they say, well, who is this guy? And that's going to make them have to dig in to find out who that guy is. And then when you dig in and find out who that guy is, it's going to make you find out the other guys that was on the team and the other different things. So then the true history of baseball is going to come to surface, instead of just it being because being America's game, meaning it was for the white people and this and that. So I think it's great. I think it's going to do a lot of good.
Sister Leslie.
I agree. I think it should have happened a long, long time ago. And, I think it's a win for the families of those players, now that they're gone, but their loved ones will now be remembered, or the hard work that they put in will now be in mainstream and in history books and so on, or at least be viewed and, put in history books. It would be really good if, I don't know too much about it, but if any of them were Hall of Fame worthy, that would be in my opinion, the icing on the cake to make sure that their stats reflected a Hall of Fame position. And so I think it's well overdue, and I'm happy for those families and for the Negro League.
I didn't even the Hall of Fame thing. I didn't even think about that. That's 100% true. Yeah, because now you just open up a whole different group of players to that's really cool. I didn't think about that.
I thought about that. Just think of those that their stats weren't reviewed, and so they never made it into the Hall of Fame. So now if they're reviewed and they meet the criteria, whatever, the Hall of Fame, what a win that would be for that family to see their loved one in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Deacon Hill.
Yeah, I totally agree with Brother James and Sister Leslie. I mean, like Josh Gibson, he's the baseball home run king. He was they always called him the Black Babe Ruth back in the day, but actually his stats were even better. And then you had Satchel Paige. I mean, he played to he pitched when he was 50-something years old, and I think he might be in the Hall of Fame. I think both of those guys are in the Hall of Fame. Josh Gibson and Satchel Paige are in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, just the notoriety and it's well overdue, long overdue. So I'm glad baseball made that decision. I don't know how they came to that, what light turned on to make them make that decision now, but better, like Brother James said, better late than never. So I'm really happy, and continue to do the research and give more people more credit.
Yeah, and then the more you see these stats, you're like, guys, we couldn't have played each other to see, what I mean? You see these amazing players on both sides, but they didn't play each other. So you have like Babe Ruth stats, like these are great stats, but they're not. Is he playing the best? Obviously not all the best. And then you look on the Negro, are they playing the best? Obviously not all the best. You're like, God, you guys, come on.
Well, it was the same way in basketball. They had to do the same thing in basketball before they would let the African Americans actually play, and then the same thing in football when you had the with Green Bay with their backfield with the Whitey Hurst, or I mean whatever the name, you got all them running backs that when you let them brothers start running the ball, you say, "Oh, okay, that's a whole different scenario there." So
Yeah.
Josh Gibson is in the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
Okay. Cool. Yeah. But just, again, and then but just elevating, the position and stuff and the stats, and you can see these. I mean, they're ridiculous numbers, and to look at those numbers, you're like, geez, what are we? What did we miss by not like documenting this and following this sooner?